Let's take a look. And take a look at, okay, sound is good. What's going on? We are live and we have a Trump announcement today. All right, there we go. We're live on Instagram as well. Hello, guys. We are waiting for Trump to make an announcement. And I got my little setup here. I got my microphone. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. Does this let me zoom? There we go. Trump will be live any moment. There we go. There's a little better zoom. And it is 8 a.m. here in Southern California, guys. And yes, Eb is saying Trump is sent by God. There's a lot going on, guys, and Trump is about to make a live announcement. So we are tuned in, and we're here to see what is going down. And guys, I'm just rearranging a few things. I am away from my desk at the moment. I'm at the cabin. So you can see behind me, I'm at the cat. Well, you can't really see, but here, let's do a little zoom here, there. Yeah. So we're at the cabin and waiting to see how our sound. Let me just make sure my sound is good with another video here. And I'm actually going to go ahead and adjust a few things. So guys, it's Saturday morning. It's January 3rd. Trump has just taken Maduro, and we're waiting for a... Oh, what's going on, guys? Oh, there's Min. Okay, hello, Min. What's happening? So yeah, Trump has captured Maduro. So we are waiting to hear what the heck is going to go down and what he's going to say about all this. See if if he's going to speak about Iran as well. Let me center all this up for you guys. Make this bigger. All right. Give me just a moment here. I am looking to check the sound on the stuff.
It is 8 a.m. on the...
Ooh.
East Coast, and if you are just waking up this morning, we are following breaking news. President Trump announcing the capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas
so I'm just
Maduro
testing my sound, guys,
in a
and
large-scale U.S. military
as soon as this thing comes
operation.
on.
Attorney General Pam Bondi confirming Maduro and his wife have been indicted in New York on drug and weapons charges. The couple, quote, will soon face the full wrath of American justice.
Okay, guys, I'm just testing my sound. It looks like it's coming through all right.
Bombs after explosions rocked the capital of Caracas and surrounding states. Early this morning, President Trump is expected to hold a news conference from Mar-a-Lago at 11 a.m.
Lucas Tomlinson joins us now.
The couple. Attorney General Pam Bondi confirming Maduro and his wife have been indicted in New York on drug and weapons charges. The couple, quote, will soon face the full wrath of American justice.
It comes after explosions rocked the capital of Caracas in surrounding states. Early this morning, President Trump is expected to hold a news conference from Mar-a-Lago at 11 a.m.
Lucas Tomlinson joins us now from West Palm Beach, Florida, where the commander-in-chief has been spending the holidays. Hey, Lucas, what more can you tell us this morning?
Good morning, Doc. For weeks, President Trump had pledged there would be strikes ashore in Venezuela, and that's exactly what happened in the pre-dawn hours, where the National Mission Force Special Operations Forces were launched, likely from the USS Iwo Jima offshore, after the Air Department, the jets and helicopters on board had been moved to Puerto Rico. Those forces, the strike force, assaulted Maduro's compound in the
Guys, I'm showing this video right now. We're going to be putting Trump live. So this is the screen that we're going to be going to once Trump is live. And then I'm kind of going back and forth so we can get an update on some of these things. But this is what we're doing right now. We're going to be looking at the press conference that should be live any moment. And that's where
Capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro overnight in a large-scale U.S. military operation.
Attorney General Pam Bondi confirming Maduro and his wife have been indicted in New York on drug and weapons charges. The couple, quote, will soon face the full wrath of American justice.
It comes after explosions rocked the capital of Caracas in surrounding states. Early this morning, President Trump is expected to hold a news conference from Mar-a-Lago at 11 a.m.
Lucas Tomlinson joins us now from West Palm Beach, Florida, where the commander-in-chief has been spending the holidays. Hey, Lucas, what more can you tell us this morning?
Good morning, Doc. For weeks, President Trump had pledged there would be strikes ashore in Venezuela, and that's exactly what happened in the pre-dawn hours, where the National Mission Force Special Operations Forces were launched, likely from the USS Iwo Jima offshore, after the Air Department, the jets and helicopters on board had been moved to Puerto Rico. Those forces, the strike force, assaulted Maduro's compound in the pre-dawn hours after those airstrikes from U.S. military aircraft took place in Caracas around 2 in the morning, Caracas time, 1 in the morning, East Coast time. And President Trump posting to Truth Social after Maduro and his wife had left the country. I'll read it. The president posted, quote, "The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter." And we heard from Venezuela's leader just a day ago, guys, in a car, a dash cam video saying he was open to a deal with President Trump. He said he would be open to combating the drug trafficking. Recall for many days now, there have been increased sanctions on Maduro's regime. His regime had been called a cartel, had been sanctioned as a foreign terrorist organization. We'd seen dozens of strikes against drug boats in the Caribbean and in the Eastern Pacific. And then this morning at 2 in the morning, we saw this dramatic airstrikes, likely from F-22 fighter jets, stealth fighter jets. Also recall those F-35s that have been moved to Puerto Rico, likely taking part in the strikes. We saw B-1 bombers, a flight in the Caribbean just last evening. It's not clear if those also took place. We also, as you can see in the video coming up, dozens of U.S. Army helicopters, likely from the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. Those are the Night Stalkers. Those are the world's most elite pilots that would have taken the strike force into Caracas to detain Nicolas Maduro. This appears, from the American side, to be bloodless. It appears all aircraft were able to successfully execute their mission, and all American military personnel, those elite Tier 1 forces from the Delta Force, the Ranger Regiment, and perhaps SEAL Team 6, all made it out of the country in one piece. And let's not forget, this was a showdown between President Trump Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. And as Elliot Abrams told me a few weeks ago, there can only be one winner, and President Trump
here we go.
doesn't
Yeah,
like to lose.
I was actually just saying the same thing. I was saying hello, Adam, and what's up, guys? And it is on, guys, like you guys are saying. But yeah, sorry, you should be able to hear my sound now. Yeah, what's up, America's janitor? Exactly. What I was saying is that I can't wait to hear what Trump has to say. I'm sure he's got a lot to say about a lot of things, and I'm sure he's going to take questions as he normally does. And curious about Iran, what's going down there, because he already threatened the government that if they harm people in Iran that are doing peaceful protests, that he's going to go after their government too. If you guys know, Persians have been wanting to be free, get freed from their tyrannical government. So waiting to hear what happens there. Guys, I'm still paying attention to the screen here so that when this one right here, when Trump goes live, we're going to catch it right away. So I'm on it. Let me just make sure I got this.
In these strikes, guys.
So obviously for the past couple of weeks, Maduro has been looking.
Nah, bro, they can't mute me, bro. I'm all over, bro. If I get cut from anywhere, bro, I'm on everywhere. I'm on Rumble. I'm on Twitch. I'll go on wherever, bro. I don't care, bro. You can't stop this.
Out and seeing the most advanced flotilla in world history parked outside of his country. It's probably been a little bit nerve-wracking for him. But obviously,
Trump is the great white hope, bro. Do my buttons still work on this one? Because I'm in my other studio and I have a lake house, so I'm over here in the mountains today. So let me check my buttons on this board here. I got my Jesse Lee Peterson buttons.
The great white hope.
He is the great white hope, guys. There it is. My button's good.
The great white hope.
It's alive and well. Let's go.
This operation was successful and is over, but I don't think that we're necessarily going to see the USS Gerald Ford pull anchor and leave the region anytime soon.
So, guys, to give you a quick update, Trump is supposed to be live at about 12 minutes ago, and so we're just watching this, and I'm keeping you guys up to date on this. So, Trump is going to be live. He should have been live 12 minutes ago, but you guys know these things sometimes take time to set up, and get going. So let's see. Reload page. Is my Instagram still live? Hopefully it is. I don't know if it is or not, but I'm still live on YouTube, and we're still waiting for Trump. And as we wait for Trump, we're going to go ahead and play this.
Doesn't appear that way, Charlie, although it is worth noting that Ford has been at sea for 6 months, deploying back in June. She was moved from Europe to move to the Caribbean, part of what the Trump administration has said repeatedly, and with this new national security strategy, that the focus would be on the Western Hemisphere. We saw in the new national security strategy that Secretary of War Pete Hegseth unveiled at the Reagan National Defense Forum. And you're right, we've seen this huge buildup of U.S. military forces in the Caribbean. The USS Gerald Ford Strike Group, not just the aircraft carrier and squadrons of F-18 Super Hornets, but also the USS Iwo Jima amphibious ready group with thousands of Marines and, of course, dozens of attack helicopters. It's likely Night Stalkers, the elite pilots that flew the strike force into Venezuela, were based aboard Iwo Jima. We also saw dozens of other warships in the region as well, armed with Tomahawk cruise missiles. And this buildup clearly had an impact on Nicolas Maduro. That's why in that interview, that's why we likely saw him almost pleading to the Trump administration for mercy. And perhaps this operation had been planned for a number of days. Remember, we had the strike in Nigeria targeting ISIS forces on Christmas Day. We've been hearing something was in the works for the past few days, and we hadn't seen President Trump on camera in the last few days. The last time we heard from him was New Year's Eve, Charlie, when a reporter asked him.
That is true. We haven't heard from Trump in a little while, huh? And it's funny, we hear from Trump so much that when we don't hear from him for like a day or two, we're like, where's Trump?
What's your goal for the new year? And the president said peace, Charlie.
Lucas, with Maduro being gone, taken into U.S. custody by the DOJ, it leaves his vice president, who we've only heard from on state TV saying that they wanted proof of life of Maduro and his wife. Have you gotten any more information on what is going on there? Do we have any indication of what is happening? Will there be a regime change?
Well, President Maduro is no longer running the country, and that statement from the vice president of Venezuela confirmed what President Trump said about Maduro and his wife had been removed from the country. We did hear from President Trump's Attorney General, Pam Bondi. If you could pull up that statement on X, I can read that for our viewers. Pam Bondi wrote, quote, Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. Nicolas Maduro has been charged with narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, conspiracy to possess machine guns and destructive devices against the United States. They will soon face the full wrath of American justice on American soil in American courts. Now, it's notable, Doc, when you asked what comes next in Venezuela. Senior official who used to be posted at the Pentagon just told me recently that there are 25 to 50 Venezuelan generals that have bank accounts in excess of billions of dollars, not millions, but billions. You have to wonder if any kind of opposition leader like Maria Corina Machado were to come to the country, would those generals support her new leadership or whoever is designated by the Trump administration if they can make that happen in the country?
Well, you know, that's such a great point to raise, Lucas, whether or not these generals would trust someone like Maria Corina Machado, because the Cartel del Soles, Cartel of the Suns, is specifically named that because the epaulets, the sun-like shaped dressing on the generals' uniforms, that's where they got it. The reason why they were...
Men, is it catching on? Billions and billions and billions and billions and billions, billions and billions.
Given that name is because the military is the cartel. That's what ultimately Nicolas Maduro is being indicted on in terms of running a cartel organization of narco-terrorists. You mentioned, though, Maria Corina Machado. Here's a little bit of what she had to say on Fox and Friends. Watch.
I completely trust the strategy President Trump is developing, and his Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. They know very well with whom they're dealing with. This is not a legitimate president. This is the head of a criminal structure that was already defeated in a presidential election by landslide. So they know how to deal with these kind of individuals that are criminals, narco-terrorists, and I believe that Maduro will get a very clear picture of what are his options and what's the future for Venezuela.
What would be your message to Americans who are worried that this could become another costly foreign entanglement for them?
I believe it's exactly the contrary. Maduro started this war. President Trump is ending this war. A transition to democracy in Venezuela will make the Americas, including the United States, safer, more secure, and more prosperous. Because Venezuela, our country, has been turned into that safe haven for all those enemies, forces that want to undermine the institutions of the United States and also kill people in Venezuela and in your country. So we are solving and dismantling a criminal structure that has produced great pain and turned our country, our nation, into the best ally of the United States, a security shield for the Americas, and a huge opportunity for energy security as well. And one thing very important, Rachel, millions of Venezuelan migrants will come back home the day Maduro goes.
So that's what Maria Corina Machado had to say back in November.
Yeah, guys, I heard lots of people fled because of Maduro, and a lot of people will be actually going back to Venezuela now. It's crazy the actual numbers of people that have left Venezuela because of Maduro, and they'll be all going. A lot of people will be going back. Be interesting to see. All right, so we're still watching here. We got one screen here, and which is where Trump would be. but he's not there yet. So we'll go back here.
Is it your sense, Lucas, that at this press conference in just a few hours at 11 a.m., that we may learn more about whether or not the Trump administration...
It's not going to be in a few hours. It's should have been on already 20 minutes ago, but we're waiting patiently.
Is putting its backing behind someone like Machado, or if there's another plan for the governance now without Maduro.
America's Janitor says, I just want to give a shout out. It was pure chance that I found your channel. However, probably the best streams I've come across. You keep it real. Man, I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for the kind words, and glad that you're finding that you like it, and I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting me.
Recall, Griff, that the opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, received about 80% of support inside the country. What officials have told me in the past is, unlike Iraq and Afghanistan, in Venezuela, it's a very united country, both politically and ethnically. You don't have Sunni, Shia, Druze, Kurds in Venezuela. It is one people, and they are pretty united. In fact,
so here's the crazy part: is Venezuela, the oil tankers and stuff that Maduro was apparently selling or giving or whatever he was dealing with, was going to the oil tankers were going to Iran, or were working with Iran, or giving oil to, somehow involved with Iran. And right now, Iran, as you guys know, is where they are standing up against their government, and Trump gave an ultimatum to the government of Iran and said that if they harm peaceful protesters, he's going to retaliate and go after them. So let's go see. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's all somehow connected. So, but here's the thing: is we live in 2025, guys. If you're doing terrorist shit throughout the world, if you're a terrorist and you're doing bad things to good people, the world's going to find out. And that's what's happened. Maduro did it. He crushed Venezuela. He forced all the good people out of Venezuela. Venezuela was becoming a place that was just going to house all the people that are trying to do bad shit. All the good people bounced, and everyone that could bounced. And they were helping Iran. Iran has been funding terrorism around the world. Again, if you don't know me, I'm of Persian descent. I'm very familiar with what's going on and what Iran is up to. Bro, they've been doing all kinds of horrible things to all kinds of people around the whole world. They've been funding other terrorist groups to do their bad bidding for them. And they've been training other countries, training people to become Islamified, to go out and do bad things in the name of Islam. It's just been pretty wild. They've been putting their own people in jail. They've been doing all kinds of harmful things to their own people. And guys, again, I'm switching back and forth. Oh, looks like we might be going live here soon, or maybe they're just showing the side view. But this is Mar-a-Lago. Trump will be live. He's going to be walking up any moment. It looks like it may be starting pretty soon. Here we go. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys. Oh, thank you so much, Frazier, for gifting a membership. I just saw that. I'm in a different program right now, so it's hard for me to see what you're doing, but I appreciate. Thank you so much. Wow, that's awesome. And Dan Walter, I think, is a recipient of the free membership. Thank you, guys. Yes, Kenneth Adams, exactly. It's the Iran-Maduro affair. So we'll see what happens. Curious to see what's going to go down with Iran. And Rhonda just became a member. Thank you. Amazing. Hell yeah, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining. Guys, we got Trump hopefully coming up here soon. Looks like it's time. He should be walking up any moment. I'm going to play this in the background so so you understand what's happening.
It is 8 a.m. on the East Coast, and if you are just waking up this morning, we are following breaking news. President Trump announcing the capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro overnight in a large-scale U.S. military operation.
Attorney General Pam Bondi confirming Maduro and his wife have been indicted in New York on drug and weapons charges. The couple, quote, will soon face the full wrath of American justice.
It comes after explosions rocked the capital of Caracas and surrounding states. Early this morning, President Trump is expected to hold a news conference from Mar-a-Lago at 11 a.m.
Lucas Tomlinson joins us now from West Palm Beach, Florida, where the commander-in-chief has been spending the holidays. Hey, Lucas, what more can you tell us this morning?
Yeah, he might be downing his last coffee for this announcement. But here we go. Let's see if he walks up.
Ashore in Venezuela, and that's exactly what happened in the pre-dawn hours, where the National Mission Force Special Operations Forces were launched, likely from the USS Iwo Jima offshore, after the Air Department, the jets and helicopters on board had been moved to Puerto Rico. Those forces, the strike force, assaulted Maduro's compound in the pre-dawn hours after those airstrikes from U.S. military aircraft took place in Caracas around 2 in the morning Caracas time, 1 in the morning East Coast time. And President Trump posting to Truth Social after Maduro and his wife had left the country. I'll read it. The president posted, quote, "The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter." And we heard from Venezuela's leader just a day ago, guys, in a car, of a dash cam video saying he was open to a deal with President Trump. He said he would be open to combating the drug trafficking. Recall for many days now, there have been increased sanctions on Maduro's regime. His regime had been called a cartel, had been sanctioned as a foreign terrorist organization. We'd seen dozens of strikes against drug boats in the Caribbean and in the
Guys, Trump should be live any moment. He should be walking up to speak any moment. So this is Mar-a-Lago. We are waiting to see what is going down. As everyone probably already knows, Maduro has been captured. So the United States has captured Maduro, and we are waiting for a live announcement from Donald Trump any second now. It would have been 27 minutes ago, but as you guys know, these things sometimes lag or take time to prepare or set up. So we're still currently waiting for Trump to go live. And I will give you guys a little bit of information, a little bit of what I understand.
Pacific.
Of course, you guys know Iran is uprising. The people are rising up against their government. And we have Maduro was sending oil tankers and stuff to Iran, or was working directly with Iran, and then United States has captured those oil tankers, and then we have been doing all kinds of different things militarily. And now, as of last night, my time, I'm in Southern California, but as of last night, America has captured Maduro. And we want to see what Trump is going to tell us live about this. And if there's something, he's going to give us some information about Iran. Again, guys, I'm sure he's going to take live questions as he normally does. So very, very curious about this announcement, this live announcement coming from Mar-a-Lago. So let's keep listening in.
And then this morning at 2 in the morning, we saw those dramatic airstrikes, likely from F-22 fighter jets, stealth fighter jets. Also recall those F-35s that have been moved to Puerto Rico, likely taking part in the strikes. We saw B-1
Thank you so much, Adam. Love you too, bro. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you.
Also took place. We also, as you can see in the video coming up, dozens of U.S. Army helicopters, likely from the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. Those are the Night Stalkers. Those are the world's most elite pilots that would have taken the strike force into Caracas to detain Nicolas Maduro. This appears from the American side to be bloodless. It appears all aircraft were able to successfully execute their mission, and all American military personnel, those elite Tier 1 forces from the Delta Force, the Ranger Regiment, and perhaps SEAL Team 6, all made it out of the country in one.
Yes. Min is saying that she's seen Venezuela. Everyone's out in the streets. They're celebrating. Yes, Trump has done something for the people of Venezuela, and they are excited. Actually, they are all over the news, all over social media right now. I'm watching just reel after reel, post after post online on my own feed, which I don't even follow Venezuela, but I'm seeing all kinds of people from all over the world coming up and saying, I'm from Venezuela. I love Venezuela. They're saying this. I'm not from Venezuela. I'm saying these people are saying that they're from Venezuela and they left Venezuela because of Maduro. They said Maduro stole the election. They had all these, and they're so happy that Trump is doing what he's doing. And it's just a wonderful thing to see when you hear people that are in relief. And you see a whole country. When you look over at Venezuela, you see, we'll go look at some of those videos as soon as Trump goes live now. But it's great to see those countries, those people in that country, in Venezuela, all in the streets celebrating, happy that the foot has been removed from their neck, that Maduro had his foot on their necks, and now they're free. And that's kind of that is what Persians want. Persians want to be free from their tyrannical government, and so they are they're protesting against their government as we speak. And Trump a few days ago, actually literally 2 days ago, came and told the government of Iran that if they harm any civilian Persians that are protesting peacefully, he will attack their government and he will go after them. So that's, again, why we're so anxious to hear what's going to happen right now, what he's going to say. And we want to hear if there's any updates on Iran, because we haven't heard from Trump in a few days. Again, as you guys know, Trump is in the news. Trump is live. Trump is talking to us sometimes 2, 3, 4 times a day. And so we go one or 2 days without hearing from Trump, and we get a different type of TDS. we want to hear from him. We love to get updates, unlike our prior president. So I was so happy about that, and excited to hear what he's got to say.
Peace. And let's not forget, this was a showdown between President Trump and Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. And as Elliot Abrams told me a few weeks ago, there can only be one winner, and President Trump doesn't like to lose. And that's what we saw in these strikes, guys.
So obviously for the past couple of weeks, Maduro has been looking out and seeing the most advanced flotilla in world history parked outside of his country. It's probably been a little bit nerve-wracking for him. But obviously the operation, this operation was successful and is over. But I don't think that we're necessarily going to see the USS Gerald Ford pull anchor and leave the region any.
W. Benjamin, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Love you too, bro. Thank you so much. Hell yeah.
President Trump announcing the cap.
Yes, Butterfly. We are waiting for Trump as we speak. This is, let me just make sure my screen looks good to you guys. Yeah, this is the screen here. Trump should have been live 33 minutes ago. But these things are not always on time. So we're happy. We're waiting patiently. We're really curious to see what he has to say. And go Trump, guys. Here, check this out, guys. Here, I got this one. Look at that. Can you guys see that? What does that say? Can you guys all see that right there? Am I clear to you? The Great White Hope, guys.
The Great White Hope.
You guys know who Jesse Lee Peterson is? Yeah, dude. What's up, beautiful Bill? How are you, buddy? Good to have you. Good morning. Good morning. The Great White Hope, guys. We're waiting for the Great White Hope. Let me zoom out so you can see better. Let me see here. Can you see that? There you go. There it is. Yep. That's it. The great white. We're waiting for the great white hope. God bless America. The land of the free, guys. The land of the free. Well, now it's free. Just a year and a half, 2 years ago, it wasn't so free. Beautiful Bill. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. This is the navy blue with the red. Available on my website, repamerica.com. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. These hats are the same hats as the MAGA hats made here in America. Literally made by the same company that makes MAGA hats. I had them make my hats. I went to the factory, and it's incredible. One day they'll let me do an open tour on live stream so you guys can see what they do. But they're the highest quality hats I've ever owned in my life. No joke. It literally is true. So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you so much, man. Good to have you, beautiful Bill. And we're still waiting. And let me put this on.
Capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro overnight in a large-scale U.S. military operation.
Attorney General Pam Bondi confirming Maduro and his wife have been indicted in New York on drug and weapons charges. The couple, quote, will soon face the full wrath of American justice.
It comes after explosions rocked the capital of Caracas and surrounding states. Early this morning, President Trump is expected to hold a news conference from Mar-a-Lago at 11 a.m.
Lucas Tomlin.
America's Janitor, bro. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you for supporting me, man. You're awesome. Thank you.
Joins us now from West Palm Beach, Florida, where the commander-in-chief has been spending the holidays. Hey, Lucas, what more can you tell us this morning?
Good morning.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. You can go to the website. It's repamerica.com. That's where I have these hats. I got this navy blue with the red. And by the way, this is the all red flag on the side, guys. So if you've never seen this one is all red flag. It means it's time to get down and dirty. It's time to talk. It's time to fix our country, guys. So that's what this is. It's time to take our country back. And we are representing America. You and I, we represent America. I got this color, navy blue with the red. I got the black, all like the dark MAGA, and I got the red, all red hat. So check them out.
Morning, Doc. For weeks, President Trump had pledged their...
We've got Trump. Again, guys, keep cutting to this. He's going to be up here walking out right in front of us as we speak. He should be coming here any minute. He was supposed to be on 36 minutes ago. But we're just waiting patiently. These things don't always happen on time. So we're just waiting. As you can see, everyone else here, this guy has literally been crouched. This guy on our screen has been sitting there crouched this whole time. This lady's been sitting there turned to the side. Everyone's over there. I'm wondering how their necks are okay. That's exactly right. America's Janitor. That's the FAFO red flag hat, bro. Exactly, bro. 100%. You call it exactly, dude.
Would-be strikes ashore.
This is the F around and find out, bro. Look at that. That's what this is. It's all navy blue with red. So we represent America, guys, and we're going to keep representing America, and we're going to stand up for our country, and we're going to take it back.
In Venezuela, and that's exactly what happened in the pre-dawn hours, where the National Mission Force Special Operations Forces were launched, likely from the USS Iwo Jima offshore, after the Air Department, the jets and helicopters on board had been moved to Puerto Rico. Those forces, the strike force, assaulted Maduro's compound in the pre-dawn hours after those airstrikes from U.S. military aircraft took place in Caracas around 2 in the morning. Caracas.
What's up, nurse?
President Trump posting to Truth Social after Maduro and his wife had left the country. I'll read it. The president posted, quote, "The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago."
W. Lucas, bro. Me too, man. Happy to be an American, bro. It's the greatest thing, and we gotta stand up for our country, guys.
President Trump, he said he would be open to combating the drug trafficking. Recall for many days now, there have been increased sanctions on Maduro's regime. His regime had been called a cartel, had been sanctioned as a foreign terrorist organization. We'd seen dozens of strikes against drug boats in the Caribbean and in the Eastern Pacific. And then this morning at 2 in the morning, we saw this dramatic airstrikes, likely from F-22.
Conducted an extraordinary military operation. Okay, thank you very much. This is big stuff. We appreciate you being here. Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones, like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer, all perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York, Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, maybe like never before. These highly trained warriors, operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement, caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea. We were just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in a ready, what's called a ready position. But they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet, by far. With capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment like what we have. And you see that even if you just look at the boats. You know, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills 25, on average, 25,000 people. We knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela.
That's right.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years in American history. We are going.
I'm going to go to this.
And if you
This is a
think
better
about
feed.
it, we've done some other good ones, like the attack on Soleimani. It was dark, guided in the Jimmy Carter days. They were different days. We're a respected country again, like never before. These highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a very...
You guys, someone was saying that he looks sick. No, he's tired. He looks tired to me. He's like, I'm tired. I woke up early to do this. But let's
ready
keep going.
position. They were waiting for us. They knew
think
we
he's
had many
sick.
ships out in the sea, we're just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in a ready, what's called a ready position. But they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far. With capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment like what we have. And you see that even if you just look at the boats. You know, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills 25, on average, 25,000 people. We knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela, and that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind.
W Black Market, bro. He is the baddest dude. He's the greatest, hardest working president. Like I tell you guys always, I aspire to work as hard as him when I become his age.
We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place.
There you go.
As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack.
W Explore, bro. Yep, absolutely. Dude, he's a great white hope, guys.
The great white hope. The great white hope.
The great white hope. Here you go.
We're so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually. This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe. And it will also make the many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore. The illegitimate dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solas, which flooded our nation with lethal poison, responsible for the deaths of countless Americans, the many, many Americans. Hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of him. Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship they'll be heading to, ultimately, New York. And then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida. But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law. And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take place. For many years after his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a cease.
Exactly, bro. Can you believe it that we have a president that actually does what he says? He told us he would do these things, do great things if we elect him. We elected him, and he is doing all the things he said he was going to do, guys.
Campaign of
how refreshing.
Violence, terror, and subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only our people, but the stability of the entire region. And you all saw it. In addition to trafficking gigantic amounts of illegal drugs that inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over in particular the United States, Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide. And he did indeed. They were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes. They cut the fingers off people if they called police. They were brutal, but they're not so brutal now. And I just have to congratulate our military, Pete and everybody, and our National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's
100%, guys. And yes, thank you about the hats, guy. Appreciate you. Yes, you can buy these on repamerica.com on my website. This is the all red flag. This is the FAFO. This is the F around and find out. This is, we're taking our country back. The all red flag, navy blue with the red. I also have the dark MAGA color and the red color. Thank you, guys. Yes.
In Washington, D.C., where we have a totally safe city, where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly. And now we have no crime in Washington, D.C. We haven't had
Sweet.
a killing.
Thank you, Intelligent Zombie. Thank you. They ship in about a week and a half.
The terrorist attack a few weeks ago, a little bit of a different kind of a threat. But
thank you again. Thank you for ordering the hats. This batch of hats ships out in on right around January 14th, 15th.
Haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have on average two a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore. The restaurants are opening. Everyone's happy. They're going. They're walking their daughters. They're walking their children, their wives. They walk to restaurants. Restaurants are opening all over Washington, D.C. So I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank our military. And I want to thank law enforcement. Been amazing.
Gotcha, Fraser. Thank you.
And they should do it with more cities. We're doing it, as you know, and we're doing it in Memphis, Tennessee right now, and crime is down. We've just sort of started a few weeks ago, but crime is down now 77%. And the governor of Louisiana called, great person, and he wanted us to help him, as you know, in a certain very nice part of Louisiana, and we have done that. And it was a rough section, and we have crime down. I understand it's down to almost nothing already after 2.5 weeks. New Orleans, it's down to almost nothing, and we've only been there for 2.5 weeks. Can't imagine why governors wouldn't want us to help. We also helped, as you know, in Chicago, and crime went down a little bit there. We did a very small help because we had no working ability with the governor. The governor was a disaster, and the mayor was a disaster, but it knocked down crime. But we're pulling out of there. When they need us, we'll know. You'll know. You'll be writing about it. And likewise, Los Angeles.
Guys, just hit 14,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for supporting me. Just hit 14K, and we're moving fast. Thank you. I bring you lives almost daily, sometimes twice a day. But thank you again. Appreciate you guys for coming along and supporting.
This is where we saved Los Angeles early on, where the head of the police department made a statement that if the federal government didn't come in, we would have lost Los Angeles. That's long after the fires. That's when they had the riots in Los Angeles. We did a great
Nurse Linda says change the mode. Which mode?
Great job. Got no credit for it whatsoever, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We don't need the credit. But we'll be pulling out when they need us. They'll call, or we'll go back if we have to. We'll go back. But we did a great job in various cities. But the place that we're very proud of is Washington, D.C., because it's our nation's capital. We took it from being a crime-ridden mess to being one of the safest cities in the country. But the gangs that they sent raped, tortured, and murdered American women and children. They were in all of the cities I mentioned, Tren de Aragua. And they were sent by Maduro to terrorize our people, and now Maduro will never again be able to threaten an American citizen or anybody from Venezuela. There will no longer be threats. For years, I've highlighted the stories of those innocent Americans whose lives were so heartlessly robbed by this Venezuelan terrorist organization. Really one of the worst. One of the worst. They say the worst. Americans like 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari from Houston. Beautiful Jocelyn Nungari. What happened to her? They, as you know, they kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered by Tren de Aragua animals. They murdered Jocelyn and left her dead under the bridge. There was a bridge that will never be the same to so many people after seeing what happened. As I've said many times, the Maduro regime emptied out their prisons, sent their worst and most violent monsters into the United States to steal American lives. And they came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They came from prisons and jails. The reason I say both, they sound similar. Actually, prisons a little bit more hostile, a little bit tougher. A mental institution isn't as tough as an insane asylum, but we got them both. They sent from their mental institutions. They sent from their jails, prisons. They were drug dealers. They were drug kingpins. They sent everybody bad into the United States. But no longer. And we have now a border where nobody gets through. In addition, Venezuela unilaterally seized and stole American oil, American assets, and American platforms, costing us billions and billions of dollars. They did this a while ago, but we never had a president that did anything about it. They took all of our property. It was our property. We built it. And we never had a president that decided to do anything about it. Instead, they fought wars that were 10,000 miles away. We built Venezuela oil industry with American talent, drive, and skill, and the socialist regime stole it from us during those previous administrations, and they stole it through force. This constituted one of the largest thefts of American property in the history of our country. Considered the largest theft of property in the history of our country. Massive oil infrastructure was taken like we were babies, and we didn't do anything about it. I would have done something about it. America will never allow foreign.
He says, I would have done something about it. Oh, we know, bro. We know. You are the great white hope, bro.
The great white hope.
That's why I'm wearing this shirt right here, because he is the great white hope, dude. Love it, bro.
Powers to rob our people or drive us back into and out of our own hemisphere. That's what they did. Furthermore, under the now deposed dictator Maduro, Venezuela was increasingly hosting foreign adversaries in our region.
That's right, bro. Spike says, I love how this president is actually putting these nations in their places. They forgot who their boss was after Biden. So it's time to remind them, bro. It's America, baby. Let's go, dude. Rep America, baby. Hell yeah. I love it, dude. Let's go.
And acquiring menacing offensive weapons that could threaten U.S. interests and lives. And they used those weapons last night. Potentially in league with the cartels operating along our border. All of these actions were in gross violation of the core principles of American foreign policy, dating back more than 2 centuries. And not anymore. All the way back, it dated to the Monroe Doctrines. And the Monroe Doctrine is a big deal, but we've superseded it by a lot, by a real lot. They now call it the Monroe Doctrine. I don't know. It's Monroe Doctrine. We sort of forgot about it. It was very important, but we forgot about it. We don't forget about it anymore. Under our new national security strategy, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. Won't happen. So just in concluding, for decades, other administrations have neglected or even contributed to these growing security threats in the Western Hemisphere. Under the Trump administration, we are reasserting American power in a very powerful way in our home region. And our home region is very different than it was just a short while ago. The future will be.
Thank you for another gift membership. Dude, thank you for another gift membership, man. Appreciate you so much. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing.
Now,
thank you.
Everyone's coming back to us.
Thank you.
We'll be determined by the ability
Thank you, Frazier.
to protect commerce and territory and resources that are core to national security. These are core to our national security. Just like tariffs are, they've made our country rich, and they've made our national security stronger than ever before. But these are the iron laws that have always determined global power. And we're going to keep it that way. We will secure our borders. We will stop the terrorists. We will crash the cartels. And we will defend our citizens against all threats, foreign and domestic. Other presidents may have lacked the courage or whatever to defend America. But I will never allow terrorists and criminals to operate with impunity against the United States. This extremely successful operation should serve as warning to anyone who would threaten American sovereignty or endanger American lives. Very importantly, the embargo on all Venezuelan oil remains in full effect. The American armada remains poised.
W Pickle Rick, bro. And if you guys know who Pickle Rick is, man, you Pickle Rick, dude. Hell yeah, man. That was one of my that was a great episode, dude. Pickle Rick says people saying that that they thought President Trump was going to keep us out of these types of situations are ignorant. Yes, President Trump is doing what is right for America and for the world, and he's not. It's not a situation. He went in, he got him, and he came out, and now here we are
in position, and the United States
Pickle Rick
retains all military options until United States demands have been fully met and fully satisfied. All political and military figures in Venezuela should understand what happened to Maduro can happen to them, and it will happen to them if they aren't just fair, even to their people. The dictator and terrorist Maduro is finally gone, and Venezuela people are free. They're free again. It's been a long time for them, but they're free. America is a safer nation.
Yes, Freedom American says the best part, we still got 3 years, baby. It is so good. That's why I said Happy New Year, and I believe that 2026 is a great year. We have a lot in store. The economy is primed to be great, and it's if you make it great, you have to be intentional. Guys, do whatever you got to do this year, next year, these next 3 years. They're great years. Make them great for yourself.
This morning, it's a prouder nation this morning because it didn't allow this horrible person and this country that was doing very bad things to us. It didn't allow it to happen. And the Western Hemisphere is right now a much safer place to be. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank General Raisin Kane. He's a fantastic man. I've worked with a lot of generals. I worked with some I didn't like. I worked with some I didn't respect. I worked with some that just weren't good. But this guy is fantastic. I watched last night one of the most precise.
That's right, Bart.
Attacks on sovereignty. I mean, it was an attack for justice. And I'm very proud of him, and I'm very proud of our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, who I'm going to ask to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Here we go. Here we go. Secretary of War.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Finally, a commander-in-chief the world respects and the American people deserve. And as the president said, words can barely capture the bravery and the power and the precision of this historic operation. A massive joint military and law enforcement raid flawlessly executed by the greatest Americans our country has to offer.
Hell yeah.
American warriors are second to none, the best in the world and the best of our country. What all of us witnessed last night was sheer guts and grit, gallantry, and glory of the American warrior. I'm simply humbled by such men. And I tip my hat to our chairman, Dan Raisin Kane, and all those Americans who stood watch last night. Our warriors are the elite of America, and again, President Trump has your back. No other country on planet Earth, and it's not even close, could pull this kind of operation off. And no other president has ever shown this kind of leadership, courage, and resolve, the most powerful combination the world has ever seen. As the president said, our adversaries remain on notice. America can project our will anywhere, anytime. The coordination, the stealth, the lethality, the precision, the very long arm of American justice, all on full display in the middle of the night. Nicolas Maduro had his chance, just like Iran had their chance, until they didn't and until he didn't.
Ooh, he's talking about Iran. What does he mean by that?
He effed around and he found out.
That's right, baby.
President Trump is deadly serious about stopping the flow of gangs and violence to our country. Deadly serious about stopping the flow of drugs and poison to our people. Deadly serious about getting back the oil that was stolen from us. And deadly serious about reestablishing American deterrence and dominance in the Western Hemisphere. This is about the safety, security, freedom, and prosperity of the American people. This is America first. This is peace through strength. And
That's
the United
it.
States War Department is proud to help deliver it.
Love that, bro. Peace through strength. And this is it, bro. You're looking at it. Let's go.
Welcome to 2026.
Welcome to 2026, bro. Let's do this.
Under President Trump, America is back.
Yes.
I'd like to welcome now our Chairman Raisin Kane, to give a few more details about the operation, Mr. Chairman.
I want to hear the last couple seconds
Raisin
again.
Is back. 26.
Right
Is
here.
proud to help deliver.
Right here.
Welcome to 2026. And under President Trump, America is back. I'd like to welcome now our
Yes.
Chairman Raisin Kane, to give a few more details about the operation.
Yes, baby. Let's go. Come on.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you, Mr. President, and good morning. Last night, on the order of the President of the United States and in support of a request from the Department of Justice, as the President said, the United States military conducted an apprehension mission in Caracas, Venezuela, to bring to justice two indicted persons, Nicolas and Cecilia Maduro. This operation, known as Operation Absolute Resolve, was discreet, precise, and conducted during the darkest hours of January 2nd, and was the culmination of months of planning and rehearsal, an operation that, frankly, only the United States military could undertake. What I'd like to do this morning is talk to you through some of the preparation and the details without compromising any of our tactics, techniques, and procedures. There is always a chance that we'll be tasked to do this type of mission again. Our interagency work began months ago and built on decades of experience of integrating complex air, ground, space, and maritime operations. While the past 2 decades have honed the skills of our special operations forces, this particular mission required every component of our joint force, with soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Guardians working in unison with our intelligence agency partners and law enforcement teammates in an unprecedented operation. We leveraged our unmatched intelligence capabilities and our years of experience in hunting terrorists, and we could not have done this mission without the incredible work by various intelligence agencies, including the CIA, NSA, and NGA. We watched, we waited, we prepared, we remained patient and professional. This mission was meticulously planned, drawing lessons from decades of missions over the last many years, many missions over these last many years. This was an audacious operation that only the United States could do. It required the utmost of precision and integration within our joint force. And the word integration does not explain the sheer complexity of such a mission. An extraction so precise it involved more than 150 aircraft launching across the Western Hemisphere in close coordination, all coming together in time and place to layer effects for a single purpose: to get an interdiction force into downtown Caracas while maintaining the element of tactical surprise. Failure of one component of this well-oiled machine would have endangered the entire mission, and failure is never an option for America's joint force. Those in the air over Caracas last night were willing to give their lives for those on the ground and in the helicopters. Let me talk a little bit about the preparation. After months of work by our intelligence teammates to find Maduro and understand how he moved, where he lived, where he traveled, what he ate, what he wore, what were his pets, in early December, our force was set pending a series of aligned events. Key was choosing the right day to minimize the potential for civilian harm and maximize the element of surprise, and minimize the harm to the indicted personnel so, as the President said, they could be brought to justice. And as the President said earlier today, weather in Venezuela is always a factor this time of the year. And over the weeks through Christmas and New Year's, the men and women of the United States military sat ready, patiently waiting for the right triggers to be met and the president to order us into action. Last night, the weather broke just enough, clearing a path that only the most skilled aviators in the world could maneuver through. Ocean, mountain, low cloud ceilings. But when tasked with a mission, this organization does not quit. At 10:46 p.m. Eastern Time last night, the president ordered the United States military to move forward with this mission. He said to us, and we appreciate it, Mr. President, good luck and Godspeed. And those words were transmitted to the entire joint force. Over the course of the night, aircraft began launching from 20 different bases on land and sea across the Western Hemisphere. In total, more than 150 aircraft, bombers, fighters, intelligence, reconnaissance, surveillance, rotary wing were in the air last night. Thousands and thousands of hours of experience were airborne. Our youngest crew member was 20, and our oldest crew member was 49, and there's simply no match for American military might. As the night began, the helicopters took off with the extraction force, which included law enforcement officers, and began their flight into Venezuela at 100 feet above the water. As they approached Venezuelan shores, the United States began layering different effects provided by Spacecom, Cybercom, and other members of the interagency to create a pathway. Overhead, those forces were protected by aircraft from the United States Marines, the United States Navy, the United States Air Force, and the Air National Guard. The force included F-22s, F-35s, F-18s, EA-18s, E-2s, B-1 bombers, and other support aircraft, as well as new...
I see it, bro. It's time for the beta button. Beta mail. Is that so-called? So I love that. Whoever said that, so-called all-star.
Beta mail.
Yeah. Talking about, look how much America took. Look what, America. You guys don't understand. You guys will say, "Oh, they're on. They took this land, stolen land." No, bro. We either conquered it or we bought it. We go after what we want. We are the greatest nation in the country, and this is how we do it. Unless you don't like it, bro, you can bounce.
Numerous remotely piloted drones. As the force began to approach Caracas, the Joint Air Component began dismantling and disabling the air defense systems in Venezuela, employing weapons to ensure the safe passage of the helicopters into the target area. The goal of our air component was, and always will be to protect the helicopters and the ground force and get them to the target and get them home. As the force crossed the last point of high terrain where they'd been hiding in the clutter, we assessed that we had maintained totally the element of surprise. As the helicopter force ingressed towards the objective at low level, we arrived at Maduro's compound at 1:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 2:01 a.m. Caracas local time, and the apprehension force descended into Maduro's compound and moved with speed, precision, and discipline towards their objective, and isolated the area to ensure the safety and security of the ground force while apprehending the indicted persons.
Wow, guys. So if you're following along, they went at 1 o'clock in the morning with the helicopters, descended down onto Maduro's compound, and let's see hear what else happened.
On arrival into the target area, the helicopters came under fire, and they replied with that fire with overwhelming force in self-defense.
Damn, bro. Crazy. The helicopters at 1 a.m., helicopters go down into Maduro's compound. They start firing. Maduro's people start firing at the helicopters. And USA said, "Here we go. Let's go."
One of our aircraft was hit but remained flyable. And as the president said earlier today, all of our aircraft came home. And that aircraft remained flyable during the rest of the mission.
Yes.
As the operation unfolded at the compound, our air and ground intelligence teams provided real-time updates to the ground force, ensuring those forces could safely navigate the complex environment without unnecessary risk.
Love that, bro. Zach, bro. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Thank you for your service.
The force remained protected by overhead tactical aviation. Maduro and his wife, both indicted, gave up, and were taken into custody by the Department of Justice, assisted by our incredible U.S. military with professionalism and precision, with no loss of U.S. life. After securing the indicted persons, the force began to prep for departure. Helicopters were called in to exfiltrate the extraction force, while fighter aircraft and remotely piloted aircraft provided overhead coverage and suppressive fire. There were multiple self-defense engagements as the force began to withdraw out of Venezuela. The force successfully exfiltrated and returned to their afloat launch bases, and the force was over the water at 3:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with indicted persons on board. And both Maduro and his wife were embarked aboard the USS Iwo Jima. In closing, what we've witnessed today is a powerful demonstration of America's joint force. We think, we develop, we train, we rehearse, we debrief, we rehearse again and again, not to get it right, but to ensure that we cannot get it wrong. Our jobs are to integrate combat power so when the order comes.
Welcome back, beautiful Bill, and welcome back, Random. What's up, buddy? Good to have you back, dudes.
We can deliver overwhelming force at the time and the place of our choosing against any foe anywhere in the world. I am immensely proud today of our joint force and filled with gratitude to represent them here today. There is simply no mission too difficult for these incredible professionals and the families that stand by them and support them. As we stand here this morning, our forces remain in the region at a high state of readiness, prepared to project power, defend themselves, and our interests in the region. This operation
Toolbox, if you're wondering what's up, you want to talk to me, feel free to message me. You can go to my Instagram and send me a direct message or email me or something like that.
Is a testament to the dedication.
Yeah, or join Discord would be easy.
An unwavering commitment to justice and our resolve to hold accountable those who threaten peace and stability. In closing, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women who executed this mission. Their courage and tireless commitment to our nation are what makes us strong. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and thank you, Mr. President.
Well, I don't have much to add to what you've heard now, other than the following points. Nicolas Maduro was indicted in 2020 in the United States.
Let me turn the volume up.
He is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. That's not just us saying it. The first Trump administration, the Biden administration, the second Trump administration, none of those three recognized him. He's not recognized by the European Union and multiple countries around the world. He is a fugitive of American justice with a $50 million reward, which I guess we saved $50 million. And
make sure.
Yeah, exactly. But
don't let anybody claim it. Nobody deserves it but us.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolas Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is
I think Iran is doing the same thing Maduro's doing. They're going crazy, acting like wild men. And I don't know. Let's see if they have something to say. Hopefully they're going to help the people in Iran.
Following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when he tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this. We're going to take. This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest of the United States, and the president addressed it.
I love how he's putting it, man. He's exactly right. I mean, if you're from another country and you're looking at what the hell's going on, you see Trump is a man of his word. He is someone that when people vote for him, when he says he's going to do something and we vote for him, he goes in and he does exactly what he told us he's going to do. And he has been continuing in every which way, even against other countries or for their benefit or their demise. He does what he says he's going to do. Like, what are you thinking? You know what I mean? Like, you got to take it seriously.
There's a president of peace, by the way. I told you what I just said earlier. This guy had multiple opportunities to find his way somewhere else and figure out another. He could have been living somewhere else right now, very happy, but instead he wanted to play big boy. And so now, he's got other sets of problems on his hands. And but I think that the message here should be for the world. Look, the president doesn't go out looking for people to pick fights with. He's not generally wants to get along with everybody. We'll talk and meet with anybody, but don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office, because it's not going to turn out well. And so I hope that I guess that lesson was learned last night, and we hope it'll be instructive moving forward.
Is that a message for Cuba, Mr. President?
Let's go, Iran. I want to hear about Iran.
Please. Well, we're going to be running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which will cost billions of dollars. It'll be paid for by the oil companies directly. They will be reimbursed for.
Random is exactly right, bro. Toolbox just went online just yesterday, bro. It's the first time. This is called the internet, bro. This is how this works.
What they're doing, but that's going to be paid. And we're going to get the oil flowing the way it should be. As you know, it was just a minor flow. It was actually a minor flow for what they have. But we're going to run it properly, and we're going to make sure the people of Venezuela are taken care of. We're going to make sure the people that were forced out of Venezuela by this thug are also taken care of.
Yes, bro. And I got my mate.
That's amazing. That's amazing. What the? That's amazing. Beta male.
Yeah, buddy. Let's go. More questions. Let's go.
Then does the U.S. running the country mean that U.S. troops will be on the ground? How will that work?
Well, they always say boots on the ground. Oh, so we're not afraid of boots on the ground if we have to have. We had boots on the ground last night at a very high level, actually. We're not afraid of it. We don't mind saying it.
I love it.
But we're going to make sure that country is run properly. We're not doing this in vain. This is a very dangerous attack. This is an attack that could have gone very, very badly. Could have gone.
Min, I keep saying I'm going to make mugs, but Miss Medication like, no, don't make mugs. No, I'm going to make mugs. I'm down.
The Great White Hope.
Guys, the Great White Hope. Take it all in, bro.
The Great White Hope.
Take it all in, bro. This is the Great White Hope,
Very
bro.
badly.
This is your president. This is your president, Donald Trump, bro. And to all of you that are losing your minds, you got TDS. Trump is your daddy.
We could have lost a lot of people last night. We could have lost a lot of dignity. We could have lost a lot of equipment. The equipment is less important, but we could have lost a lot. And we're going to make sure that this is proper. We're there now. We're ready to go again if we have to. We're going to run the country right. It's going to be run very judiciously, very fairly. It's going to make a lot of money. We're going to give money to the people. We're going to reimburse.
Dude, I love how Spike says it. Look at this. He says Democrats complain when Trump isn't a superhuman and completes all of his promises in 1 year. But Biden can go on vacation every other week. Biden was on vacation the whole time, bro. The whole time, bro. The guy was checked out.
People that were taken advantage of. We're going to take care of everybody. It's very important. We couldn't let them get away with it. They stole our oil. We built that whole industry there, and they just took it over like we were nothing. And we had a president that decided not to do anything about it. So we did something about it. We're late, but we did something about it. Yeah, please.
Mechanism by which you're going to run the country? Are you going to designate a U.S. official to coordinate?
It's all being done right now. We're designating people. We're talking to people. We're designating various people, and we're going to let you know who those.
Dang, bro. Fountain pens. I got custom fountain pen makers. I got a couple that make my fountain pens. I could have them commission a little thing for Rep America, bro. I really could.
People are
Red, white, and blue fountain pens. They got these beautiful swirl kind of cases and everything, bro. Crazy good ones.
Would run Venezuela.
Well, it's largely going to be for a period of time. The people that are standing right behind me, we're going to be running it. We're going to be bringing it back. It's a dead. I talk about a dead country. A year and a half ago, we were a dead country. Now we're the hottest.
I love the way he says it. We were a dead country.
Country anywhere in the world. A year and a half ago, we were a dead country. Now we're.
You hear that? Yeah, bro. We had a zombie in the White House, bro, a year and a half ago.
The hottest country anywhere in the world. We're a country doing better than any country anywhere in the world. And
I agree, bro. Hoodies coming next, dude. Hoodies are big. Do we need hoodies? And I think mugs too, but yeah.
Required leadership. Venezuela has a lot of bad people in there.
Yes, Random, you're totally right. And hoodies were a must, dude. Yes.
A lot of bad.
And I know it's a little late now, but it's still a great thing to get.
People that shouldn't be leading. We're not going to take a chance that one of those people take over for Maduro. So you can look at, and others. We have fantastic people, including people in the military. So we're going to have a group of people running it until such time as it can be put back on track, make a lot of money for the people, and give people a great way of life, and also reimbursement for people in our country that were forced out of Venezuela.
Rubio would be.
You said earlier today that you weren't going to back Machado to come back and be the opposition leader in your Fox and Friends interview. And then you also mentioned the vice president of Venezuela. Are you going to work with the vice president of Venezuela, or how do you foresee the relationship going?
I understand she was just sworn in, but she was, as you know, picked by Maduro. So Marco's working on that directly. He just had a conversation with her, and she's essentially willing to do what we think is necessary to make Venezuela great again. Very simple.
Mr. President, Colombian President Gustavo Petro.
Gotcha, bro. Hoodies. I know hoodies. I'll do those next.
A couple weeks ago, he said he's got to watch his ass. And today, he said he's not concerned about anything happening to him in the aftermath of this operation. So, just what your message is
well,
about
he
that.
has cocaine mills. He has factories where he makes cocaine. And yeah, I think I stick by my first statement. He's making cocaine. They're sending it into the United States. So he does have to watch his ass.
Mr. President, did you notify any members of?
Nobody. I haven't. I don't have Rep America patches. I do have the hats. I do have this one. This is the navy blue with the red, with the all red flag. It's the FAFO. I guess I got to rename it. Whoever said it in this stream, I like it. It's the FAFO hat. F around and find out. It's red. It's us taking the country back. It's us taking America back. That's this red flag hat. That's what this is. I also got the black and the red hat too. So 3 colors all in all.
Congress in advance.
And Marco, do you want to talk?
And it's on the website repamerica.com. These are made in America. These are the same hats as the Trump MAGA hats. They're the highest quality hats I've ever owned. Believe it or not, they're all actually here, made in America. They are badass hats. No joke.
About that because you were involved in it.
They are literally made by the same company in the same factory as the MAGA hats, literally. And there's a reason why they are $50. They cost me about $30 or so to make these hats. It's crazy, but I didn't care. I want it made in America, and I want the best quality hats I can get.
Sure. We called members of Congress immediately after. This was not the kind of mission that you can do congressional notification on. It was a trigger-based mission in which conditions had to be met night after night. We watched and monitored that for a number of days. So it's just simply not the kind of mission you can call people and say, hey, we may do this at some point in the next 15 days. But it's largely a law enforcement function. Remember, at the end of the day...
America's janitor, I'm down, bro. I got to make some patches. I'm down.
At its core, this was an arrest of 2 indicted fugitives of American justice. And the Department of War supported the Department of Justice in that job. Now, there are broader policy implications here, but it's just not the kind of mission that you can pre-notify because it endangers the mission.
And coffee, bro. I'm down for coffee,
Plus,
too.
if I could add one thing to that, Congress has a tendency to leak. This would not be good. If they leaked, General, I think it would have been maybe a very different result. But I have to say, they knew we were coming at some point, you know. A lot of ships out there, they sort of knew we were coming. We went through. But Congress will leak, and we don't want leakers.
able to watch this all play out live. What was Maduro doing when the U.S. forces entered what I assume would be his home? And also, was there any point where the U.S.
Guys, I sort of agree with Rubio 48. And thank you, Kenneth. Yes, and yes, 14K, baby. We hit it. We're moving. Random. I know coffee market is saturated, but I have the greatest coffee on the planet. And it's kind of a secret, but I if they'll make it for me and let us put Rep America on it, bro, I'll rock it.
was considering if Maduro pushed back or resisted killing Maduro?
It could have happened. It could have happened. He was trying to get into a safe place. You know, the safe place is all steel. And he wasn't able to make it to the door because our guys were so fast. They went through the opposition so fast. And there was a lot of opposition. You know, people were wondering, do we get them by surprise? Sort of surprised, but they were waiting for something. It was a lot of opposition. There was a lot of gunfire. You saw some of it today. But he was trying to get to a safe place, which wasn't safe because we would have.
Thank you, Nurse. Love you. Thank you, Nurse. Thank you.
Have had the door blown up in about 47 seconds, they say on average, regardless of how thick the steel was. It was a very thick door. It was a very heavy door, but he was unable to get to that door. He made it to the door. He was unable to close it.
Dang, bro, Maduro made it to the door. He was unable to close it, dude. Dude, how do you love having a president like this that tells you everything? He's super transparent. He's in front of the camera live every day talking to us. He tells you what's on his mind. He doesn't hold back. He tells you the story. He tells you the details. He tells you everything, even some things you may not want to hear. It's so good.
Go ahead, finish.
Where is Maduro going to be in the time being right now? Do you know his exact
Well,
whereabouts?
eventually, ultimately, in the near future, he's going to be brought to New York.
And where is he going to be held? Where is he going to be held in New York? Do you know?
That's going to be up to the officials that do these things.
Mr. President, the U.S. has something of a mixed track record of ousting dictators without necessarily a plan for what comes afterwards.
Not with
Did
me.
that weigh on your decision?
Well, that's when we had different presidents, but with me, that's not true. With me, we've had a perfect track record of winning. We win a lot, and we win. If you look at Soleimani, you look at al-Baghdadi, you look at the Midnight Hammer. Midnight Hammer was...
I love the sound of that one, Midnight Hammer. Oh, bro, that's what I need. I need to get a shirt that says Operation Midnight Hammer.
Incredible. Right now, you wouldn't have peace. Midnight wind. If you look at Soleimani, you look at al-Baghdadi, you look at the Midnight Hammer. Midnight Hammer was incredible. Right now, you wouldn't have peace.
I want to get one, bro. Seriously. You know what? I'm going to take notes right now. I'm going to put it down. Operation Midnight Hammer. That's the new. In
the Middle East, we have essentially peace in the Middle East because of that. If we weren't successful with Midnight Hammer, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. So, with me, you've had a lot of victory. You've had only victories. You've had no losses. Yeah.
How long do you expect the U.S. to run Venezuela, and how soon do you want Venezuelan people to hold elections?
So I'd like to do it quickly, but it takes a period of time. You know, we're rebuilding. We have to rebuild their whole infrastructure. The infrastructure is rotted. It's actually very dangerous. It's blow-up territory. Oil is very dangerous.
We win a lot. A lot.
It's a very dangerous thing.
Bro, how can you not love him, bro? How can you not love the Great White Hope? Guys, please. I keep telling you, take in these moments.
The Great White Hope.
He is the Great White Hope. Guys, please take in these moments. He's your president. This is not gonna, dude. This is these are wonderful times to be alive, wonderful moments to remember for the rest of your life. Please take it in. Unbelievable. We win a lot.
To take out of the ground can kill a lot of people. It has killed a lot of people doing just that. The infrastructure is old. It's rotted. Much of it is stuff that we put there 25 years ago, and we're going to be replacing it. And we're going to take a lot.
Yeah, I got a stain on my shoulder. I had a michelada yesterday, and last night I had a stain on my shoulder.
A lot of money out so that we can take care of the country.
And I just threw this thing on for this for this thing.
Are you saying that Secretary Rubio and
Mr. President, China, Russia, and Iran have interests in Venezuela. How does this operation affect your relationships with them when
Well,
it comes
in
to the
terms
oil
of
and the
China
drugs?
and Russia, Russia, when we
Hell yeah. Welcome back, Aquariums. Good to have you, bro. Love this shirt, dude. It's such a good shirt, bro. Hell yeah.
things straighten out. But in terms of other countries that want oil, we're in the oil business. We're going to sell it to them. We're not going to sell
Operation Midday Hammer.
We're not going to get
Midnight Hammer,
In
bro.
other words, we'll be selling oil, probably in much larger doses because they couldn't produce very much because their infrastructure was so bad. So we'll be selling large amounts of oil to other countries, many of whom are using it now, but I would say many more will come.
Are you saying, Mr. President, are you saying that,
Wait, one
Mr.
second,
President,
please.
are
Go
you
ahead,
saying
behind
that?
you, please.
Mr. President, thank you. What is your message to the people of Venezuela today? Of course, the civilian population specifically, they have a lot of questions. What is your message to the people of
That
Venezuela?
you're going to have peace, justice. You're going to have some of the riches that you should have had for a long period of time. It was stolen from you. But you're going to have peace and you're going to have safety. You're going to have justice. You're going to have a country. You're going to have a real country. You're going to have potentially a great country. You know, if you go back 20 years, maybe even a little longer ago, that was a great country. And they destroyed it. Remember I said that if we lose this election, the United States will be Venezuela on steroids.
Literally.
That's what would have happened.
Yep.
Had we lost the election, the 2024 election, we suffered so badly when you look at the border.
I say this to you guys all the time, and we'll never live this down. We'll never stop saying this. If Trump didn't win this last election, we were done, bro. We dodged a major one, bro. Imagine the Somali fraud right now. We would know nothing about Somali fraud. We would know nothing about any fraud. They would keep defrauding the American taxpayers, bro, for billions and billions and billions.
From 2020.
Bro, it would be a disaster. We would not have another election going forward. It would be crazy if Trump did not win this last election.
What they did, what Joe Biden administration did to our country should never be forgotten. But if we had to go through another year of that, we would be exactly where Venezuela was in terms. I used to say, if they win, we're going to be Venezuela on steroids. And that's what would have happened.
President, thank you. Are you saying that Secretary Hegseth and Rubio are going to be running Venezuela, and will you be sending in U.S. military
They're going
troops
to be
to
a
provide?
team that's working with the people of Venezuela to make sure that we have Venezuela right. Because for us to just leave, who's going to take over? I mean, there is nobody to take over. You have a vice president who's been appointed by Maduro, and right now she's the vice president, and she's, I guess, the president. She was sworn as president just a little while ago. She had a long conversation with Marco, and she said, we'll do whatever you need. I think she was quite gracious, but she really doesn't have a choice. We're going to have this done right. We're not going to just do this with Maduro, then leave like everybody else, leave and say, let it go to hell. If we just left, it has zero chance of ever coming back. We'll run it properly. We'll run it professionally. We'll have the greatest oil companies in the world go in and invest billions and billions of dollars and take out money, use that money in Venezuela. And the biggest beneficiary are going to be the people of Venezuela. And also, I can't stress this strongly enough, the people that got thrown out of Venezuela that are now in the United States, and frankly, some want to stay and some probably want to go back. Yeah.
In the country, and were any of the detained Americans?
Well, right now they're
arrested
very
last night?
protected because nobody's going to mess with us. They're very protected. The people of, and we let them know that you better not touch one of them.
And are you concerned that bad elements of the Maduro regime will remain in place?
Well, we know who they are. We're on them, and they're acting much differently now than they would have acted 2 days ago. Okay, wait, behind you, please.
Mr. President, why is running a country in South America America first?
Well, I think it is because we want to surround ourselves with good neighbors. We want to surround ourselves with stability. We want to surround ourselves with energy. We have tremendous energy in that country. It's very important that we protect it. We need that for ourselves. We need that for the world. And we want to make sure we can protect it. Yes, sir. Please, go ahead.
Yeah, is there a message here for Cuba and Diaz-Canel?
Well, Cuba is an interesting case. Cuba is, not doing very well right now. That system has not been a very good one for Cuba. The people there have suffered for many, many years. And I think Cuba is going to be something we'll end up talking about because Cuba is a failing nation right now, very badly failing nation. and we want to help the people of. It's very similar in the sense that we want to help the people in Cuba, but we want to also help the people that were forced out of Cuba and living in this country. Do you want to say something about that, Marco, please?
Well, I mean, I just gave you a statement a few minutes ago about, when the president speaks, you should take him seriously. So suffice it to say, Cuba is a disaster. It's run by incompetent, senile men, and in some cases, not senile, but incompetent nonetheless. It has no economy. It's in total collapse. And by the way, they were, all of the guards that helped.
Guys, you guys are talking about the 51st state, talking about Venezuela, talking about Canada, or in some parts of Canada. I'm talking about Iran, bro. Imagine if Iran was one of the United States. Dude, that would be crazy. And imagine with that strategic location in the Middle East, we would be the glue of the Middle East. We would bring stability to the Imagine.
Protect Maduro. This is well known. Their whole spy agency, all that were full of Cubans. I mean, it's amazing. This poor island took over Venezuela in some cases. One of the biggest problems the Venezuelans have is they have to declare independence from Cuba that tried to basically colonize it from a security standpoint. So, yeah, look, if I lived in Havana and I was in the government, I'd be concerned, at least a little bit.
Cutting off the oil flow to Cuba from Venezuela?
Well, the president already announced a week ago that...
52. Yeah, bro. We'll take 52, bro. 52, 50. Let's just rock them up, bro. Let's go.
Anything that's sanctioned, it's sanctioned oil, it's not going to be allowed to get there. So that's a pre-existing.
Bro, imagine if we would have made Afghanistan one of the states. It wouldn't be back in the hands of terrorists like it is now. Like there's a lot, bro. There's a lot to be said about that.
The answer is yes. Yes. No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
Mr. President, on Monday.
Oh, I think it would be very tough for her to be the leader. She doesn't have the support within or the respect within the country. She's a very nice woman, but she doesn't have the respect to be the leader.
Mr. President, is it possible that the U.S. ends up administrating Venezuela for years?
Well, it won't cost us anything because the money coming out of the ground is very substantial, so it's not going to cost us anything. We will. Well, we want safety there. We want to be surrounded by countries that aren't housing all of our enemies all over the world. That was happening, and you don't want to have that. But we're going to be rebuilding, and we're not spending money. The oil companies are going to go in. They're going to spend money. We're going to take back the oil that, frankly, we should have taken back a long time ago. A lot of money is coming out of the ground. We're going to get reimbursed for all of that. We're going to get reimbursed for everything that we spend. So it's going to be a very important. This is a very big evening that took place last night. We have to be surrounded by safe, secure countries, and we also have to have energy. Very important. We have to have energy that's real energy, not where they're getting 4% and 5% of the energy out of the ground. You take a look. It was such a disaster. So what's going to happen with Venezuela, I think, over the next period of a year, is going to be a great thing, and the people of Venezuela will be the biggest beneficiaries.
U.S. military.
Mr. President, thank you. What did you last speak to Maduro about when you spoke? And is the
Well,
US
I don't want to get into the
Venezuela?
conversations, but I did have conversations with him, and I said, you got to surrender. And I actually thought he was pretty close to doing so, but now he wished he did, yeah.
You said that Maduro.
Guys, again, thank you guys for subscribing. I'm seeing the numbers go up. Dude, thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you for supporting me. And I appreciate the you guys getting the hats. Dude, I got these hats on the website, repamerica.com. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Is responsible for drug trafficking. You recently pardoned the former president of Honduras who was convicted of many drug trafficking. Can you explain how these two situations are different? And would you ever pardon Maduro?
I endorsed, as you know, the winning president, the man who won in Honduras. I endorsed the man who won in Chile. I endorsed the man who won in Argentina. And we are doing very well with that whole group. What the man that I pardoned was, if you could equate it to us, he was treated like the Biden administration treated a man named Trump. That didn't work out too well for them. This was a man who...
I love that, bro. The way they treated Trump, that didn't work out for them, did it?
Was persecuted very unfairly. He was the head of the country. He was persecuted very unfairly. And there are a number of them. And we felt that it was a very unfair situation that happened to him. He's also a party member of the man who won. So obviously the people liked what I did. And one of the reasons that was done is because of the fact that the party in power felt very strongly that that man was treated very badly. I studied it very quickly, and then I studied it in great detail. I went to a lot of the people standing behind me, and they felt that that man was persecuted and treated very badly. That's why I gave him a pardon.
You referenced boots on the ground earlier. Can you just sort of button this up? Do you envision the U.S. military having a presence in Venezuela as the U.S. runs that country?
No, we're going to have a presence in Venezuela as it.
He's right, bro. Spike. It's in the schools. It just the infantry. They capture their minds early on, man. It's the mainstream media. It's the years and years of social media. Democrats conquered social media for years and years. Just now, you're seeing the conservatives popping up on social media. So I think that was the big one, is the social media, and mainstream media has been majorly biased towards the left. 100% there for the left.
Pertains to oil, because we're sending our expertise in. So you may need something, not very much. But no, we're going to be taking out a tremendous amount of wealth out of the ground. And that wealth is going to the people of Venezuela and people from outside of Venezuela that used to be in Venezuela. And it goes also to the United States of America in the form of reimbursement for the damages caused us by that country. So I want to thank you all very much. Thank you. Do you have one? Yes, please. You were so nice before. I'm going to give you the final question. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr.
Unless
President.
it's a bad question, in
It's
which
about
case I'll
Putin.
go one word. It's about
Let's talk about Iran.
About Putin, if you want.
About Putin. Well, that's always nice to talk about Putin.
You had a phone call with him
Yeah.
on Monday. Did he talk at all about Maduro? Did y'all talk about this?
No, we didn't.
And
We
then,
never spoke about Maduro.
Are you mad at him right now? I mean, there's this
I'm not
intelligence.
thrilled with Putin. I'm not thrilled with Putin. He's killing too many people. I thought that would be so. I settled 8 1/4 war. You know what the 1/4 was? Thailand and Cambodia. I did it again. They broke out, and I did it in about 5 hours, and I settled it. I'm giving myself 1/4, so I'm up to now 8.
You guys are talking about liberals. He says liberals need lies to live and feed their party. Guys, the very simple fact is liberals, Democrats, they basically take taxpayer money. They take our taxpayer money. They give free things to people to buy their votes. And they did that with immigrants, illegal immigrants, for the 4 years under Biden. Tens of millions of immigrants. They brought them in here, gave them free stuff, basically bought them out to vote for them, for the Democrats. They've been doing that to us, to the American people, since the beginning of history. They take taxpayer money. They create free welfare programs for people to get them to vote for Democrats.
8 1/4. No,
They buy votes with taxpayer money. That's the Democrat Party.
in other words, I settled the war, but then they broke out. They had a pretty bad breakout over the last 4 days. I got them to go back to peace. So I only give 1/4. I thought the easiest one would be, one of the easier ones would be Russia.
That's why I always say, so I'm a person that I always believe in, you got to bring solutions. Don't just talk about whatever or judge or whatever. You can judge, do whatever you want, but also come up with solutions. My solution is get rid of welfare programs. You get rid of welfare programs, and it's going to make one side of the country, the Democrat side, the liberal side, it's going to make them actually start thinking, because they can't take taxpayer money and buy votes anymore. They have to actually come up with policy ideas, plans to do things to make America a better place, not just talk about Trump is bad. Let me give you free stuff, free food, free housing. Let me bring you into this country for free, but you got to vote for me. And so that's, if you stop welfare programs, you get rid of all that bullshit, and you can actually have Democrats that are coming up, that are forced to come up with good ideas.
Ukraine, it's not. And they both have done some pretty bad things. And look, that's Biden's war. That's not my war. But I want to stop the lives. Did you see where last month, 30,000, it was 27,000 the month before. 30,000, mostly soldiers, were killed this last month. 30,000. I want to stop that. You know, I got NATO to pay 5% instead of the 2% that they weren't paying. They weren't paying 2, now they pay 5. And we send them a lot of munitions. We send them a lot of things, missiles and various other things, a lot. And they pay. The United States is not losing money. We're probably making money on that. It's the last thing I care about. I just want to stop all those people. We're losing 25, 30,000 human beings that come from 2 places that are very far away. But
good to have you, buddy. Thanks for joining the channel.
if I can stop, because it's something I've been pretty good at doing, deals, I guess. It's all a deal. Life is a big deal. But if I can stop that war and stop 30,000 young people, in addition to the fact that people are being killed in Kiev, people are being killed in other cities throughout, you know, a much smaller number, but they're being killed, viciously killed. So I'm not happy about it. I thought that would be something that would get solved. We have Mr. Witkoff here. I think that we're making progress, but that's a war that should have never happened. If I were president, it would have never happened. Putin says it. Everybody says it. If I were president, that would have never happened. But I inherited that war. That was Joe Biden, Zelensky, and Putin. I came into the situation, and it's a mess. And I will say this. I watched an operation last night that was so precise, that was so brilliant. I mean, it was incredible. If we had our people, like this general and our people involved.
Margaret, you're absolutely right. They destroyed the middle class, insisted on raising minimum wage and taxing companies and the rich. They destroyed the middle class. Part of that was, I mean, obviously, yes, all of these policies and welfare programs that they offer to buy people's votes.
That war would not have gone on very long, that I can tell you. That war, to use an old term, that war has become a bloodbath, and we want it to get stopped. Thank you very much, everybody.
Man, I want to get some kind of a good, solid answer on Iran. All right, there you have it, guys. That is Trump for us, and we're going to take a look at what we got here. That is Trump, and we got Maduro.
What you're looking at right now is our first pictures of Nicolas Maduro on the Iwo Jima that the president noted he was being transferred on to get here to New York to face charges in that indictment. I want to bring in CBS News national security contributor Samantha.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming. That was a great live. We got Trump live, and we got some answers, and we know what's going down. We're going to be operating their country for a little while. We're going to be running things and helping a transition to a proper government, one that's not been stolen and one that is now free for the people. Everyone in Venezuela is super excited. They're in the streets. They can't believe they're finally free. All the people that fled the country because of Maduro, because he was a tyrant, they're all starting to head back. I've seen all kinds of posts online. If you guys go on social media, you'll see people are excited to go back to their country, back to Venezuela, back to living with their families and their friends, and get back.
Hello, everybody. I thought it was an amazing.
And so they're able to move on with their lives. We're very happy for them. And so I'm hoping the same thing will happen for Iran. Hopefully, something will happen and Iran will become free again, and people can go back and visit their country that they love, that they came from. Everyone fled Iran. Everyone that could has fled Iran. And anyway, we're hoping to get some answers on that, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Guys, again, thank you for supporting me. You guys really, I saw a lot of subscribers today. Thank you so much. Thank you for those of you that went and bought the hats, repamerica.com. I got this navy blue with the red F around and find out. This is the red American flag. This is symbolizes us taking our country back. If Trump didn't win this last election, it was a disaster. And now we're taking our country back, and we are being an inspiration for the rest of the world, all those other countries out there, to take their countries back. France, England needs to take its country back. Canada needs to take its country back. Australia needs to take his country back, and we can just keep going on and on down the list. So Italy is taking its country back. It's got a wonderful female president that's running the country, that's doing a great job. Tokyo now has a female prime minister that's taking that country back. Guys, we got to take our country back. That's what it is. That's what we're doing. We're not going to stop. We finally have freedom of speech. A year and a half ago, I would have gotten shut down for being having a conservative voice. So, we got our country back. We got freedom of speech back, freedom of expression. We got we are America. We are the beacon. We are spearheading Western civilization. We lead by example. We represent America, you and I. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And I will catch you on the next live stream.